Hey everybody, it's Monica with Fit Eats Coaching, and today I'm back with cardio, core, and HIIT at the park. So I'm doing a little lap around here. I've already kind of organized this workout. I'm about to turn my camera around and show you our last little station here. But this workout is pretty fun because it's very flexible in terms of, how many circuits do you want to do? So this workout is super flexible. It allows you to do as much or as little cardio as you need, to work your core as much or as little as you need, and to do as much HIIT or no HIIT if that's something that you're not into because it's too high impact for you. Maybe you're not in that great of shape at this point to be doing HIIT. Not everybody needs to be doing HIIT. I'll get into that in another video. So I'm about to turn my camera around and show you guys. I've already made my way through a few of the cardio, core, and HIIT little stations. Okay, so after you've done 5 minutes of a warm-up, a cardio warm-up on your bike or walking around the park or even with a jump rope, you want to do your first set of leg lowers. You're going to lay on the floor or on a bench, and you're going to have your legs bent with your knees aligned over your hips, and then you're going to lower your bent leg down to the ground like you're dipping your toe in a pool of water. And the goal here is to keep your back as stable as possible on the floor or on your bench. Notice how my hands are resting right over my face, so I'm not grabbing onto the bench, and that is the point of this exercise. That's what's going to really build stability and strength in your core so that your spine is supported when you're doing all types of dynamic movement like we'll be doing later on in this workout. And if this version of the exercise is too easy, then you can progress to this more challenging version, which is one leg is dipping down, that's the bent leg, and then the other leg is kicking towards the arms. This is a Pilates inspired leg lower. I really love this move, and you can also do this on the floor. So the bench version of these things is going to be a little bit more challenging than the floor version, and those options are there for you so that whether you're a beginner or advanced, then you can work at your level. All right, immediately after that, you're gonna move into this incline knee and glute kickback, and this is really about using your core to keep your body nice and flat like a board. What happens in this exercise a lot of times is that people allow the hips to dip way down towards the bench, or they pike their butt up in the air, and this is just teaching you really proper movement. Now if that version of the exercise is too easy for you, then you're welcome to try the more advanced version, which is the decline knee and glute kickback. This does make your upper body and arms work a little bit harder. It does put a little bit more demand on, stability where your low back is. So if you're not ready for this, then don't do it. Just work at the level that you're at, and you're going to get really strong and be able to do the more advanced versions of everything that you see in this video. All right, immediately after that, you're going to jump rope. This is your HIIT interval. And what I tell my clients is jump between 20 and 40 jump. Now, if you don't like the jump rope, or you can't jump, or you're just not that coordinated, you can always just high knees in place, do step ups, or just walk at a much faster pace to the next set of exercises. All right, we're continuing with incline push-ups. You can do these on a wall or any surface, even on a bench. And that's the reason why we were doing those incline knee and glute kickbacks, so you could have perfect form for these 8 push-ups. Immediately after this, you're going to go into a step up with a hop. Notice how this step is not that high. So this is not a high impact exercise, even though it kind of looks like it. But if your lower body strength is not that great, maybe you don't have really good glute activation, this can be challenging. So you could always do lunges, reverse lunges, walking lunges, and if that's still too hard, you can also do a set of squats. So we're doing about 8 repetitions on each side, and if you're going to do squats, then do double that, so you've got to do 16. Now immediately after this, you're going into bent leg lower body rotation. Some people call this a Russian twist. Notice how I'm not going that far over. I'm keeping my feet and knees pretty close together. I'm barely hanging on to that bar. I'm making my deep abdominals and obliques do all the work of stabilizing my upper body and head. And then here we're going straight leg down into a heel drop again. This is slightly more challenging because now you're using both legs together as opposed to one leg at a time, as we were doing on the bench before this. Now, if those two moves are too easy for you, you can move on to this more challenging version, which is straight leg rotations. And notice again, I'm barely hanging on to that bar and I'm not going over that much. You really don't need to rotate that much in order to work the core effectively. And this is an issue that I see a lot in the gym, where people lower their legs either to down, directly down, or they go from side to side and they smack the floor really hard to get the legs back up to center, or they're gripping the bench or a bar for dear life, and using the upper body to stabilize instead of using the core. So there's no point in doing the exercise like that. Now, one thing that can be really helpful if you struggle to keep your low back down, your upper body and head down while you're doing these leg lower type movements, is to fold a towel in half and place it underneath the arch of your back. And then imagine that that towel is full of water and you have to use your deep abdominal muscles and your obliques to just squeeze all the water out of that towel. And if you were able to do that, then that water would just come gushing out the sides of your body, right? So this is what you have to visualize when you're doing this exercise. And again, that does not require that you lower the legs that much. You don't need to take the legs way over to the floor, or all the way down to the floor, or even have straight legs. You can do this with bent legs, and you're going to build that core stability and strength that you need for all your complex movements, all the activities that you enjoy doing. Right, next up we have two really fun exercises on these parallel bars. Lots of parks have these, but if your park doesn't have them, or you're training at home or at the gym, you can use the captain's chair, or you can just use a chair to do this. Main thing is to squeeze the shoulder blades together to keep your shoulders away from your ears, keep yourself nice and tall. And then what you want to do is not swing. You want to slowly lift the knees all the way up above the waist, as high as you can get them. You're going to feel this the next day. And then what you want to do right after that is do these twisting knee raises, which are so fun and amazing way to work your core without having to do really hardcore leg raises. Straight leg raises are really hard from this position for a lot of people, so this is a really great alternative. Now, right away, you're going into a banded squat jump. If you don't have a band, you can do this without a band. You can also just walk, lunge, run, jump rope instead if you don't want to do jumping squats. And right away, you're going to go into a banded stiff leg deadlift. I love this movement because yes, it targets your glutes and hamstrings, but it's also a really important exercise for training core stability. A lot of times I do this with a medicine ball at the chest. This helps clients who have a really hard time not rounding their back. I also sometimes do this with a kettlebell if people are getting stronger. So there are a lot of options for this exercise, but for this particular workout, since we're doing cardio and core, I'm just keeping it basic with the band. So after you've done these two exercises, you're either going to walk at a fast pace or sprint over to your last set of exercises. And we're starting with jump rope. And we're going to also add a little bit of rolling ropes. So rolling ropes is one of my favorite low impact ways to use a jump rope. I'm using a rope from the hardware store that was only $6. It's really soft, it has a little bit of weight to it, and it helps me to do these figure 8 patterns, which are really great for the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, and especially the core. And also because I perform with various types of flow props, this is a really useful movement for me. But a lot of my clients, when they start doing this, they find that it's really fun and it works their core and arms and upper back in ways that they, have never worked before. So it's a pretty functional movement for loosening up tight shoulders, for getting better mobility in the torso, and obviously you're getting your cardio and core in. Now, after you do however many jumps and rolling ropes you feel like doing, you're going right into this knee in to single leg down dog glute kickback. This really big range is a very different feel than what we started with, which was on the bench. That was a very limited range, and now you're in a full range of knee and glute kickback. Notice how close my knee is coming to the ground. It's pretty much hovering above the floor or right outside my elbow. And then I'm really pushing back, using my core, using my back muscles primarily to push back. Again, if this is too challenging for you, then just go back to the version that you did at the very start of this workout. That's how this workout is really flexible for all levels. And right after that, we're going back to the jump rope. So we're getting a little bit of extra cardio in here at the end. And you're welcome to do that throughout the entire workout. There's going to be a whole lot of options on how to do all this posted over on the blog later today if you want to go check that out. But also I wanted to say that this workout is really more a variable intensity interval training workout where you're training a lot of different ranges of, just intensity. Because some of this will be walking at a moderate pace. Some of it will be jumping a little bit faster pace. Maybe you want to add in some sprints, or some of your exercises like your jump squats and your step up hops can be at a much faster pace. Okay, so the last core exercise is actually a little bit easier than all the other ones we've done throughout this workout. It's a single straight leg lower with a little bit of movement from the upper body. You can add a weight in between the hands if you like a medicine ball or a dumbbell. Main thing here is to just keep those legs as straight as possible, and one is reaching as far down as you can get it while the other one is reaching all the way up. Now, bonus exercise for you if you are wanting to do more rotation work. You're going to rotate from side to side and then extend the top leg. So if you're not quite ready for those straight leg rotations, this is one version that you can do that will help you get there. This is a Pilates exercise. It's called a can-can kick, but it's amazing for bridging that gap between beginner and advanced exercises. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this workout and it has been helpful. I will be back soon with more exercises and tips to help you get your leanest, fittest body. Thanks for watching.